Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Rue. Welcome back to another live stream. So this live stream is going to be involving everyone in the comments, so send through your questions. I'll go through my team as well and go through my potential transfers, and hopefully we get some team news in before the end of the stream. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe and smash a like on this video too. It does help me out. We'll start off with a few comments. Sorry, I had a few of you waiting in the comment section, but yeah, it's a bit hot in here where I am in Australia, so I had to go get some water and yeah, stay hydrated because I was sweating. But Ethan in the chat, hello mate, good to have you. We got a few people from Twitter as well. Good to see you, those on Twitter. First time I'm putting it on Twitter, so hopefully it's well received. Yeah, if you want to come and join in the comments, I should be able to see your comments on here, so I can bring them up on screen, even if you are on Twitter. Ethan, so thinking of doing Haaland to Watkins, cash to Porro for a -4. What do you think? It is a tough one. I think the cash to Porro is a good move. I'm not too sure if you need the money. That's why you're doing Haaland to Watkins. Obviously, we don't know if Haaland's going to be fit or not yet. I doubt Pep's going to give us any information, to be honest. So I probably wouldn't hold up for that. If you can do cash to Porro, I'd probably just do that for now and then see how we go with the Haaland news. But I think it's actually a really good move. You're going to get two, even if Haaland does play this game week, you're going to get 2 games instead of 1 from Watkins. Porro, you're probably going to get an extra 60 minutes plus in terms of cash. Lost his place, not going to be starting potentially. And I can't see him starting anytime soon. I know there's a bit of a thing going around that he's going to play against Sheffield United in game week 18, but I can't really see it. They're flying at the moment. I can't see Emery wanting to change too much with the team. So for me, I think overall, I probably would do it, but it is risky if Haaland is fit. As Haaland, you know, can score 2 goals, 3 goals in one game, especially a home game against Palace, who are injury stricken and bad form, to be honest. I think they haven't won since game week 8, so they're in terrible form. And yeah, Haaland can do them damage if he is fit, but it's up to you whether you want to take that risk of Haaland being fit or not. With my team, so I've got Haaland, but I'm on a wild card, so it is a little bit different. I only really have to think about Haaland for the, I guess, next 2 to 3 game weeks maximum. Potentially, I can even wildcard next week or wildcard in game week 19 and bring it back in. It's not a big deal. I just have to use it before game week 20. But for me, is it worth a -4? I'd probably say if Haaland is out, it is. If not, then probably not. I wouldn't do the -4. A few more people to join from Twitter. Good to see you. Yeah, like I said, first time I'm putting this on Twitter, so it's nice to see a few more people join on there. Send through your questions and I'll give them an answer, and then we'll go through my team and what I'm thinking about for transfers as well. And hopefully we get some team news while we're on this stream. Will Gordon start or transfer him out for -8? Or otherwise field 10 players with Haaland, Trippier, Taylor. Oh, bloody hell. That is a rough one, to be honest. -8 is never a good idea, but I think in your case, fielding 10 players, you're probably better off taking a -8. But just make sure it's players that you're not going to want next week, or players that you're going to want for a long term. I wouldn't be taking them out. So, for example, if it is Haaland, you're kind of using the -8 for, then, and he is out, it's a big if. Like whenever I talk about Haaland, just if he is out, then fair enough. -8, you're losing him for 2 game weeks because he blanks in game week 18. But with Trippier and Taylor, they're going to come back next week. And especially with Trippier, Newcastle have got some good fixtures. He's going to have that week rest now as well. I'm not too sure I would use a -8 to take out someone like Trippier. But again, it all just depends on what players you're bringing to take out. So yeah, leave another comment and let me know what your transfers are going to be for that -8, and maybe I can help a bit more. So yeah, so we've got a few more questions from Twitter as well. So I did put a post out earlier on in the week, basically asking for any questions, and I'll answer them on my live stream. So I'll just put them in the comment section now, so I can get them up on screen. So we've got a question here, which is from Christian from Twitter, from my Twitter post. So best 1 week punt for either Alvarez or Foden. Spurs the only club maxed out. Okay. For me, I think you're going to want to keep Alvarez and potentially Foden. But if you did want to take one of them out, I'd probably. It's a tough one because again, I don't know what other players you've got, but I really do like Solanke with Luton at home. Yes, Luton are actually not bad defensively, but I think that is mainly Luton at their own ground, at home, away from home. I'm not too sure, and I do fancy Bournemouth to do some damage in that game. For Foden, you could go for someone like Sterling. Chelsea have got Sheffield United at home. Surely they have to put in a performance. Surely they can't lose to Sheffield United. Surely, I know they're so bad, and I'm absolutely loving it. But surely they can't lose to Sheffield United. So yeah, for me, I'd probably go for someone like Solanke or for a Chelsea mid for Foden. You could take an even kind of a bigger punt. Just looking at the fixtures now, Arsenal have really good fixtures. Could you go for someone like Gabriel Jesus if you had the money to upgrade from Alvarez, or a punt from maybe you can go Foden to Bowen? But again, they got Wolves, West Ham, so I'm not too sure if that's the best fixture to target. So for me, I'd probably go for someone like Sterling or someone like Solanke for this game week, specifically for a 1 week punt. So that was from Christian from Twitter. I'll read this one out because it involves a picture. So we've got a question from Peter. So 2 free transfers used: Gahey to Pau Torres and Archer to Raul Jimenez. I'll just get this up now. So it's Gahey to Pau Torres, Archer to Raul Jimenez. And Peter asked correct bench order. So he's benching Diaby, Lascelles, and Kabore, and he's starting Flecken. So Flecken or Dubravka. I'd probably start Dubravka. Flecken has Aston Villa at home, and Dubravka has Fulham at home. I think that's a much better fixture for Dubravka. And I think that Newcastle are a better defence. I'd probably start Dubravka instead of Flecken. Defence is Tsimikas, Saliba, and Pau Torres. And the bench defence is Lascelles and Kabore. I'd probably keep that defence just because you've got Dubravka, and I wouldn't probably go double Newcastle defence, even though I do think that is a better fixture than Brentford away for Villa. But I would probably just go and kind of, spread my chances of getting a clean sheet and go for Tsimikas, Saliba, and Pau Torres. And then midfield is Luis Diaz, Salah, Saka, Palmer, and Diaby. I think that's the correct midfield. And up front is Raul Jimenez, Watkins, and Erling Haaland. So I'd probably play Dubravka instead of Flecken. And apart from that, I think your bench looks pretty good. So I'd probably keep that the same. We've got a couple more questions here as well. So I've got 1 free transfer and 1 million in the bank. Taking -4 for Mbemo and Semenyo to Solanke and a 5.8 mid. Yeah, I'd do that. I would do that. But it's just what mid are you going to be thinking at for that price point? You can potentially go for someone like Cole Palmer. Good fixtures coming up. But the thing is, if you already have Cole Palmer, your options are a little bit limited. And don't forget, Cole Palmer is on 4 yellow cards. So, but a lot of players are now. So I actually feel like we can't really be thinking about that too much. Again, you could go for someone like Huang, but again, he's on 4 yellow cards, which is not ideal, especially if you do have Palmer. That's why you can't go for Palmer. Maybe someone like Decore, Everton. The fixtures are not great, but he is in good form at the moment. I think it's worth taking a -4 though, because Mbeumo is not going to play. Semenyo is going to play, but you're getting a better striker, Solanke, who plays for the same team with the same fixtures, and then you're getting an extra player. So I do think it's worth it. I just think you're maybe a little bit limited with that 5.8 million for a mid, to be honest. So I'll probably go for Palmer if you don't have him. If not, I think you're struggling. You can go for Huang, and that's about it really. But maybe look at seeing if you can go Mbeumo to a midfielder and maybe keep Semenyo for another week or two. But yeah, let me know what players you already have, and I can help you out even more. So, do you think Isak will lose his spot for this game week? I don't think so. I think Callum Wilson played 90 minutes in the Champions League, so I think Isak is going to play this game week against Fulham. In the long run, I think there will be rotation, but I actually do think Isak is first choice. Whether that means he's going to play every game, probably not, but I do think he is first choice. So for that reason, if you do own him, I would be keeping him in your team. So yeah, really, I don't think he will lose his spot, only being rested on the odd occasion for Callum Wilson. Shout out Mike's joined from Twitter. So we've got a question here from Karai. Cash to Pau Torres and Darwin to Solanke. Now, if Gordon is injured, Gordon to Sterling maybe for a -8. That is a big move. I probably wouldn't do Darwin to Solanke. I guess you're probably doing it because you need the money to upgrade Anthony Gordon. Is that right? If that is the case, then fair enough. But if that's not the case, then I probably wouldn't do Darwin to Solanke. I think Man United at home is a good fixture for Liverpool. And I think it's a good fixture for Darwin, especially considering he did get a rest midweek. So for me, I probably wouldn't take the -8. I'd probably just do maybe cash to Pau Torres if you really do need a defender. Darwin to Solanke. I do think Solanke is a better option, but I don't think it's a bad fixture for Darwin. You could look at it like this and break it up. Do you think Solanke will outscore Darwin by 4 points this game week? I can't really see it. So for that reason, I'd probably just do the Pau Torres move and leave Darwin to Solanke. If you are just doing it to upgrade Gordon to Sterling, then you could argue if Gordon is out. But for me, you could probably go for someone like Palmer if you don't have him, maybe even Huang, or just hold Gordon and maybe upgrade one of your third striker spots if you have the cash. For me, I just wouldn't be taking a -8. Considering Darwin, I think is a good option. Yes, Cash and Gordon are not going to play, but if you can do them two out for a -4, then I think that's fair enough. But taking a -8, I think, is a little bit too much. Shout out to the more people that joined on Twitter. Drop in your questions. So I'll just get up my my team now and keep making sure you drop for your questions. Yeah, keep dropping for your questions while I get out my team. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's how my team in terms of transfers is looking for game week 17. We'll quickly go through it. Make sure you leave your comments as well, comment section below. All right, let's get through this team. So I'll go through the team and then we can talk about the transfers. So I've actually decided to go for Turner in goal. I think the fixture is slightly better for Turner than it is for Onana. So Turner has Spurs at home. Onana has Liverpool away. To be honest, it wasn't an easy decision, and it's not even it's probably a pointless decision to make. To be honest, considering how bad the fixtures are for both teams and how bad both teams are defensively. Nottingham Forest can see there's so many goals recently that I just can't see them keeping out Spurs, who are free scoring, and the same with Onana. I just can't see him keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool away from home. However, I feel like Liverpool will score more goals than Spurs, so that's why I have gone for Matty Turner as the option to start in goal. Defense, I've gone for Tsimikas, Lascelles, and Pedro Porro. So Tsimikas, I think he will start. He missed the midweek game in the Europa League, so I do think he will be starting in this game week in the league. And I am confident. I won't say confident, but I am pretty hopeful of a clean sheet for Liverpool and hopefully an attacking return for Tsimikas. Lascelles next to him. Yeah, just counting down the days till Botman's back. Hopefully, it's not for another few weeks until I get to play my wild card and take him out. But I think Fulham at home does look like a good game on paper, but I think Fulham are in really, really good form. And I could see Newcastle being a little bit dejected from their exit out of Europe in general midweek. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I can't really do much about it this close to playing my wild card. I think I just have to stick with my team and my defence and hope for the best until I do play that wild card. Pedro Porro is a player I am excited about. I think he's going to do well this week, and hopefully he can add a clean sheet to his assists. He's got 4 assists in the last 5, so done really, really well attacking wise. I don't know if anyone's been watching the Spurs games, but he's so attacking for them, and for me, I think he is a player that is due a double-digit haul. Ever since probably the start of the season, he's been so attacking, getting into the box, getting off shots. It's just I don't think Spurs can match his kind of attacking threat with their defensive capabilities. I think that defensively, not as strong, especially without Van der Ven, and obviously Romero's just come back. But even without them, I think they do concede a few sloppy goals, and I think there are a few mistakes in there. So I'm not hopeful of a clean sheet, or I'm not expecting it, but hopefully he does get a clean sheet and an attacking return and gets a double-digit haul, which he's due this season. To be honest, I don't think he's actually got one yet, which I think is a shame considering he's actually got quite a few attacking returns, 6 assists, which is really, really well. He started most of the games apart from game week 1, so started 15 games. If only he could add a clean sheet whenever he gets an assist. But yeah, hopeful of a big haul from Pedro Porro. We'll get in a few questions before I go on to the midfield. So who to captain this week? So I'll go on that in a bit more detail later on in the video. But for me, I think Salah is probably the best captain option this week. You could argue that Son against Forest away is a good option. You could argue Haaland, if he's fit, is a good option. But for me, I think I think Salah is the best option. He's playing at home to Man United, who have a lot of injuries. They beat them 7-0 last year. I don't think it's going to be 7-0 this year, but I can see Liverpool scoring a few goals in this game. And Salah loves playing Man United, so for me, I think Salah is probably the best captain option this week. Next, I'd probably say Son, and then probably Saka. This is all if obviously Haaland is out. So Solanke captain. To be honest, I understand why you're saying that. The fixtures do look really, really good, and the fixture in this game, it does look really, really good for Bournemouth. But for me, I do think Bournemouth have been playing well, and they are a much better team than last season. But for me, I just can't captain a Bournemouth player. I'm going to be totally honest. Bring them in, fair enough. Play them, fair enough. But I can't captain a Bournemouth player, no matter who they're playing. Maybe a double game week I could, but no, I can't captain a Bournemouth player, especially when Liverpool have a home game. Spurs have got Forest away. Even Haaland, with obviously might be injured, but even with Haaland's fixture, there's no way I could captain someone like Solanke. I think for a differential though, fair enough. But the fact that Luton haven't been conceding a lot of goals does make a bit of a difference. And for me, I just wouldn't trust Bournemouth and Solanke in general to actually put more than a few past Luton. So for that reason, I don't think I would be captaining Solanke. So Karai with a question. So shot myself in the foot with early transfer. Now Gordon looks injured. Who did you bring in and bring out? Was it I'm trying to scroll back. He did cash to Pau Torres. Are you already done them transfers? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. Then it's probably. I just think Gordon's a better option than Sterling, and Sterling's on 4 yellow cards as well. I don't think I'd do that for a -4. Then if that's what you're talking about, Gordon to Sterling for a -8. So obviously it would be a -4 because you've already done a -8. So for me, I don't think I'd do that. I know Gordon might not play this week, but I think Gordon's a much better option. And say if Sterling gets booked this week and misses game week 18, then you kind of wasted the transfer. So for me, I'd probably just wait to see if Gordon will be back by game week 18. So Ethan, what about Palmer as a captain? I just don't trust Chelsea, to be honest. I think Palmer's an incredible player, but it's just he plays for Chelsea. I just can't see. I just don't trust them. I know Sheffield United are so bad, like really, really bad. But as some people say, like when you're playing really, really bad, all you need to go see Dr. Chelsea, and Dr. Chelsea will make you feel better. They'll make you look like you're playing well. They'll make you score a few goals. They'll make you be solid defensively. And they did that to Man United recently, and they made Man United look good. So for me, I don't think I would be captaining Palmer, even though I do think he is a good option. I just wouldn't trust him with that captaincy armband because he plays for Chelsea. To be honest, I don't trust them enough for that. I think with FPL options as a whole, like if you're bringing in Palmer, then you can kind of hope for the odd penalty. You can hope for the goal, especially at his price point. But putting the captain's armband on him, I think it's another level of commitment. And for me, I wouldn't be taking that risk when there are, I think, much better options out there. Like I said, Salah, Son, even Saka. So for me, yeah, I wouldn't be going Palmer as as captain. Okay, we'll move on to the rest of the team, the midfield. So yeah, speaking of Palmer, we got Cole Palmer in there. I am hoping for a return. I know I said Chelsea, I don't trust them, but surely they have to beat Sheffield United. I'm not expecting a thrashing, but surely they have to beat Sheffield United. For me, though, like I said, I wouldn't be captaining Palmer, but I still think he is a good option this week. I think he can nick a goal, and that's all you want for someone at that price. Someone that can nick a goal, maybe get an 8-pointer every few game weeks, and I'm hopeful Palmer can do that for me, as I think I don't think he's actually returned for me. I only bought him in last week, and he blanked against Everton away. So for me, I'm relying on Palmer to do well this week. I'm just checking to see if there's any news. Next up, Gordon. So we are obviously waiting for team news. Hopefully, Eddie Howe says something groundbreaking and said something that makes us feel like Gordon is either going to be playing or not playing. I have a quick look, but I don't think anything has come out yet. It was, again, Eddie Howe's the worst for it, though, so I'll take anything he says with a pinch of salt. But there was a few words to say that he basically could have played on, which is always a good sign. He could have played on, but it just kind of wasn't worth the risk, or that it wasn't comfortable to play on, but he could have played on. For me, again, it's a bit of a hard one because I am on my wild card, but for someone that's not on their wild card, then if they're going to miss this game week and you're going to have to play with 10 men or 9 men, or even risk that, then it's probably worth making the transfer. But for me, it's not worth making a -4 for Gordon, because I think he will only be out for 1 week if he is out, and it will be more like a rest. And there's also been news this game week that has said that Ashley Barnes has had a setback and he won't be back until January. So that is the key position in terms of threat for Anthony Gordon is Ashley Barnes. Yes, Isak could play there, which is actually something that could happen considering Wilson played 90 minutes. I can't really see him playing. I can't really see him playing another 90 minutes on the weekend after just having played 90 minutes in Champions League. So I think Isak will start up front, so I can't see him starting on the left wing. You could say Joe Linton could start there, but for me, I am happy with Gordon. If he doesn't play, doesn't play. But there's no need for me to be taking him out this close to wild card when it's probably only going to miss a week if he does miss a week. An option though, or I guess the worst case scenario is if he doesn't start and he comes on and gets a booking, and he ends up on 0 points. That's the worst, or even a -1 point. But for me, I'm not going to be taking a -4 for someone like Anthony Gordon when I've got 2 City players that I really do need to take out for game week 18. I think there's just other options, other threats in my team that I need to deal with. If Haaland is kind of confirmed out on looking like he's not going to start, I could downgrade Haaland and upgrade my third striker, Mubama, and bench Gordon. That is another option, but we'll talk about that a bit later in the stream, where we'll talk more about my transfer specifically. But next up on in the midfield is Saka. So Brighton at home. I do think that's a really, really good fixture for him. I think Brighton have just qualified for Europe, so they got a winner. João Pedro got the winner. That means they are qualified for the next round of the Europa League. Whether they're tired from that game, I'm not too sure. But I think Brighton have been conceding a lot of goals this season, so I'm hopeful Saka will get a goal or an assist in this game. However, Brighton have actually beaten Arsenal, I think, the last couple of times at the Emirates. I remember last season, I think it was 3-1, and then the season before, I think they beat them 3-0 when they were chasing for the Champions League spot. So Brighton can do it. I just think this season they're not as good as they were the last few seasons, Brighton, and they are leaking a lot of goals. They have yet to keep a clean sheet this season, so it is hopeful Saka does get a few attacking returns in this game week. Next to him, we've got Salah. So with Salah, I've got the captain's armband on him. I do think it's actually a good game for him, Man United at home. I actually don't think it's going to be an absolute thrashing that a lot of people do think. I know Man United are terrible. I know Liverpool are top of the league. I know Salah loves scoring against Man United. I know Liverpool thrashed them 7-0 last season. But, you know, when something's so obviously going to happen, football doesn't work like that. For example, Spurs were playing Chelsea earlier on in the season. Spurs were on top form, haven't lost the game. Chelsea were struggling to find their feet, weren't scoring goals, weren't creating that many chances, conceding goals. And then they ended up going to the Spurs stadium and beating them 4-1. Yes, you had things that affected that, like red cards and injuries, but that can happen in any game. So I just would be a little bit cautious about expecting, I'd say. I think that's the key word, expecting a thrashing of Man United from Liverpool. However, I do think Liverpool are going to win the game comfortably. I just don't think it's going to be a 5-6-0 like people would expect, just because Man United are terrible at the moment and they have a few injuries. I think that kind of makes them maybe be a bit more cautious and a bit more defensive, and a bit more not want to risk getting battered. So, however, saying that, I do think Liverpool will score at least 2 to 3 goals, and I think Salah's going to be involved. So that's why I've got the captain's armband on Salah. Son, Forest away, close call for a captain, I'd say, but I've probably a bit of PTSD from captaining Son earlier on in the season, and a few game weeks ago, whenever I've captained him, is blank. So for me, he's not going to be a captain option. He's going to be vice captain, but I do think Salah's a better option. But I completely see why people would captain Son after his absolute mega haul against Newcastle at home, and then obviously he got that goal and assist against City away as well. But there's been times where we have looked to captain Son. I think one of them was against Villa at home, and then maybe Sheffield United at home was another one, and then potentially even Luton away. I think some people captain him where he hadn't really delivered. So I'm a bit scarred by that, but I do think he is the second best captain option. I do think he will score well this game week. One thing to note, though, is he's probably going to play on the left. So last game, he against Newcastle, Richarlison played through the middle, Son on the left, Kulusevski number 10, Brennan Johnson on the right. So very attacking. Normally you'd have someone like Lo Celso in the number 10, or someone like James Maddison number 10, who are more of an attacking 8/10. Whereas Kulusevski, yes, he's more like he's a winger, he's an attacker, full attacker /10, rather than someone that might look to drop a bit back to collect the ball. So it is a very attacking lineup. But it's just something to note that I think Son will be playing from the left. But as we saw against Newcastle, he can still deliver from the left, and he's still, going to be getting points. It's just maybe that is going to be more assists and less goals. But I still think he's going to get goals as well as assists for the rest of the season, to be honest, as long as he stays fit. And obviously he's going to go to Asia Cup, so obviously not that period, but for the rest of the season where he does play, Son is going to get goals no matter where he does end up playing. So we'll answer some of the questions that have come in. So Peter, hello. So I answered your question earlier. I don't know if you saw it, but I still have my wildcard to play. Yeah, so do I. I will be releasing a game week 18 wildcard draft, potentially on Saturday night UK time, which would be Sunday morning. Sunday morning, yeah, Australia time. So keep an eye out for that. I will be doing that every week until I play my wildcard, just to allow everyone that still has their wildcard to talk it out, to see when the best option is that. But yeah, let me know when you're thinking of playing it, because I know we have to pick 20, so the game weeks are running out. So now we'll move on to the forwards. So probably for the 10th week at least, I'm going in with 2 City forwards. And it's not been ideal, to be honest, most weeks, but especially this week with Haaland a potential doubt. Alvarez hasn't been on great form. He hasn't scored since, I think it's game week 7. I'll just quickly check, but he hasn't scored since game week 9. So not ideal, considering he did get 4 goals earlier on in the season, and quite a few assists. So not ideal, but if Haaland is out, he's going to be playing up front, and I think he's going to be a really good option. So I think now I have to kind of keep him in my team at least until the next game week, in game week 18, where he does blank, and I can probably take him out for someone like Watkins or Solanke, depending on my transfers this game week. Do I think Haaland will play? I just can't see how he comes back on Thursday, hasn't trained yet, trains on maybe Friday or whatever, and then plays on, when is their game? Is it Sunday? Plays on Saturday. I just can't see it. It's going to be gutting if I do take him out though, and he does play and he does deliver, but I just really can't see it unless Pep is absolutely playing us. But why would he? Do you know what I mean? If it was Liverpool at home or Arsenal at home or Spurs at home or United at home, and it's a massive, massive game and he wants to play mind games, then okay, fair enough. But Palace at home and then Luton away before that, what is the point in playing mind games with that? Unless he sent him on a break and he didn't want to deal with the media, like, oh, how can you send Haaland on a week break? Like, do you think the World Club Cup is bigger than the Premier League and just can't deal with the questions? Maybe that's a thing, but I don't know. I just don't think I just can't see it. I can't see him playing, but hopefully we know more, and Pep does give us some information. The only thing is his Instagram story that he posted, he was winking in it. I know I'm probably looking too much into it, but like, it just feels like these are the two situations. I feel like he's just been sent on a week holiday by Pep to relax before the Club World Cup, get some rest in, and then now he's come back raring to go, sort of thing. Or he's actually injured and he's going to miss this game week. I don't know, to be honest. Hopefully Pep gives some sort of intel. I'm probably going to have to take him out if we don't get a yes, he's going to start, or yes, he's fine, yes, he's trained. anything like that. If we don't get that, then I'm probably going to take him out just because I'm on the wild card and I don't really need to leave him in. So yeah, for that reason, I'm probably going to be taking him out. But we'll go back to the questions and then we'll talk about my transfers later. So from Ronald, how's it going, Ronald? If you were to choose between Udogie and Mikalenko, who would you bench? That is a tough one. I'd probably bench Mikalenko because I think Spurs are okay. Clean sheet wise, I reckon the probability is probably around the same for Spurs and Everton. Attacking wise, I just think Spurs are a better attacking team than Everton, and I think Udogie is not as attacking as Porro, but I think he still gets into the attacking areas and is an attacking threat. So for me, I'd probably go for Udogie. So I'd bench Mikalenko. Luca, hey mate, I had the luxury of benching a good asset. One of the following. Who would you bench? Saka with Brighton at home, Palmer with Sheffield United at home, Solanke with Luton at home, Alvarez with Crystal Palace at home, and Watkins with Brentford at home. Wow. How do you have that luxury? That is incredible. Okay, I think if Haaland is kind of declared fit to play, I'd say, then or at least he's in training, then I would bench Alvarez probably. If there's no indication that he is going to be fit, then I'd probably start Alvarez because he's going to be playing up front and potentially be on penalties. Probably have to bench Watkins. I know Brentford have a lot of injuries, have not been on great form recently, but it is away from home, whereas all the other games are at home. Villa are not the best away from home. It's all to do with their home form. They've won every single home game this season. They won 14 home games in a row. So for me, that is probably a big indicator on going for Watkins on the bench. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments as well. Have a chat with each other. Luca, I'm thinking Watkins at the moment because the others have such good fixtures, but I don't know. He has potential to haul. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think you just have to play the fixtures in that instance. And especially, it's not even just like good fixtures. It's pretty like good fixtures sort of thing. It's not just like an average level of fixtures. It's some of the best fixtures out there. So for me, I'd probably bench Watkins, but it doesn't sound too good, to be honest, to do that. So but I can't see another player you can bench. I'm guessing your other midfielders are Son and Salah, which is why you can't bench them. Peter, so Western Sydney Wanderers won 1-0 this evening. I was at the game. Oh, nice one. Mate, they were in Brisbane I think last week or earlier on this month, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was going to go, but I had my work Christmas party, so I couldn't go. Hopefully they do something well this season. They've started off well, top of the league now, so hopefully they can do something this season. That'll be nice. Luca, I would bench Alvarez, but if he starts as 9, he's bound to score. Yeah, exactly, and he could be on penalties as well. So for me, I don't think I'd risk that. Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll go back to my team now. Maybe look at a few transfers. So yeah, this is how the team's looking. So I think if Haaland's out, he'll be gone. I have to make this bigger. Yeah, so if Haaland is out, it's going to be one of two players. I know who I should probably go for, but I don't know if I want to go for this player. So basically, my options are, like I said, I've still got my wild card. I'm trying to hold until game week 19 or 20. So I want to get Solanke in for these next three fixtures. I think they're just too good to pass by. Bournemouth are looking good at the moment. Solanke's looking good in scoring. 8 goals this season. Luton at home, Forest away, Fulham at home, and then our wildcard in game week 20. Another option though is Watkins, but I just don't love the fixtures. Brentford away, yes, it's his old club though, so that's another thing to keep mindful of. This is his old club. Could it be hyped to play them? Sheffield United at home, and then Man United away, and then obviously wildcard. The form is still pretty good, and he's smashed it this season. To be fair, so same amount of goals, but he's got 9 assists, which is really really good. But Bournemouth did start the season with a horrific run of fixtures. To be honest, they lost. They lost near enough every game. I'll just get it up. I don't think they won until like game week 7 or something. Game week 10. But look at their fixtures: West Ham, Liverpool, Spurs, Brentford away, Chelsea, Brighton away, Arsenal at home. So that's tough 7 fixtures. All you're missing really is Man City from that, and you've got or maybe Villa as well. And then they play them in game week 11, and then they play Newcastle and then Villa. So first 14 games is ridiculously hard. Which I guess you play everyone after 19 games, but still, to have them all in a row, which is why they've got such good fixtures over the next 3. So my thinking is to go for Solanke this game week, and then in game week 18, I can either do Alvarez to Watkins, or I can do Mubama to Watkins, and have Watkins or Sheffield United at home. So for me, it's kind of at the moment, at the moment it's either Solanke against Luton at home or Alvarez against against Brentford away. And for me, I'd rather Solanke. However, I know I definitely want Watkins for game week 18, which I probably will captain in or captain Son, depending on how it's all going. But if I don't do Watkins this game weekend, I do Solanke, and then Palmer gets a yellow card, and Palmer's out, I am in trouble. Like, I'm gonna have to take a -4 the week or something before wildcard just to get 10 players out. So that's the only issue with doing it this way. But really, ideally, I want to do Solanke for Haaland, and then go from there. However, if Haaland's all right, I'll take a look at my team. So if Haaland is all right, and say again, it is a struggle. Like, it is a struggle. If Haaland is all right, Mubama, I could try and go up to someone. No, 5.6. Who am I getting for 5.6? A striker, which I'm just looking for a player to get in that can kind of, I guess, cover me in game week 18. But we'll have a quick look. So good code for Cunha, I guess. No, 0.1 million short. like proper struggle, to be honest. Jimenez though, I could go for Raul Jimenez. So if Haaland's fit, I could go for Raul Jimenez just to have on my bench. And then he's got Newcastle away, which I won't. I'll probably just bench him for. And then Burnley at home, Bournemouth away. That is a good option. And the only reason I would bring him in this week is I get another bench player, which if Gordon doesn't play, if Haaland doesn't play, I have the option. I can even start him over Gordon. That could be a good option. Let me know what you think in the comments, actually. So that gives me that, and then I probably in game week 18, I'll probably just do Haaland to Watkins, but then I'll be not getting Solanke. It'll basically be Jimenez versus Solanke. But again, this is if Haaland does play. 5.8 million in the bank. Bang. That could be it. And then I can't afford this though. To get Haaland back. No. So that could be the option. Going Jimenez this week and then Watkins in game week 18 if Haaland is fit and Gordon is potentially out. Yeah, so there are a few options there. I'll bring up a few questions now. Let me sort this screen out first. Cool. So I'll get up a few questions. I sold Haaland on my game week 10 wild card and brought in Solanke since and never bought Gordon, so I haven't had to worry about that mess. Yeah, fair enough. Solanke's been doing all right as well. So you're still without Haaland, is that right? I want to hang on to Watkins almost purely for his fixture. Yeah, same. That's the only reason I'm getting him in is for that fixture. So it is a big fixture, and he's probably the best captain option. I know Son is an option, but I think with Everton, kind of at Everton's form, being a lot better recently, you could argue that Watkins is probably the better fixture. Another question. So Eddie will play Gordon till death. I kind of hope so. Not till death, obviously, but I kind of hope he does play this game week because I kind of need him, to be honest. Especially with the Haaland stuff. I do need him. Saka or Gordon? I think Saka. I think Saka has the better fixture. Plays for the better team. Maybe not the better fixture, but plays for the better team. Is on penalties. Hopefully, he doesn't give any away. I'd probably go for Saka, to be honest. I'll just have a quick look to see if there is any news out about Haaland, etc. Keep leaving your comment section in the comment section below, and let me know what your chances are going to be this game week and who your captain is. I know some of you have said it already, but let me know who your captain is going to be. Well, I'll see if there's any news. So I think there's nothing out so far. Yeah, nothing out so far. Okay, wait, actually, we've got a few. So let's see if I can share my screen, actually. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen because there are a few team selections. Sorry, a few press conferences out. So hopefully we get some news. I'll just quickly try and share my screen. Okay. Yeah, there are a few out. Okay, let's share my screen. Just so you got something to look at rather than looking at me while I read them out. God, I don't know if you can see, but I am absolutely sweating. It's so hot here where I am in Australia. I don't know if you can see on camera, but I am absolutely sweating. I don't want to put the aircon on because I'm going to have it all night in the room. So I'm trying to go without when I'm doing this, and it's not working. I'm literally dripping. But hopefully you can't see that. Cool. Okay, we'll try and make this a bit better. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so we got from Pochettino, Robert Sanchez, Mark Cucurella, Reece James are all ruled out for game week 17. However, Malo Gusto and Christopher Nkunku have both returned to full team training. That is massive news from Poch. I should probably start at the bottom, but that is massive news from Poch, especially Nkunku and Gusto. Gusto, I think, is a really, really good option now. Now Reece James is out. He is probably going to play most games at right back. And to be honest, I think he's, I wouldn't say just as good as Reece James, but he is a very good replacement for Reece James. And at I think he's now 4.1, 4.2 million. I think he could be a really, really good option if you are looking to have someone, from a Chelsea defense that is going to be attacking. I'll probably give it a week to see if he does start and see how he does return after his injury. But yeah, really good option. And Kunku is exactly the same. Probably wait to see if he does start, how does he perform? Could this affect Cole Palmer's minutes though? Potentially. I think Nkunku will probably play up front though, rather than like number 10 where Palmer kind of plays. But it is something to keep an eye on. That is actually really big news for FPL, and potentially 2 wildcard options for me in a few game weeks. Hey, Guardiola. Pep Guardiola does not expect Erling Haaland to be fit to face Crystal Palace. Hopefully he can travel to Saudi. I don't think he'll be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture, just stress. Wow. Massive news. That is massive news. Is Pep? I just don't trust Pep. I've got massive trust issues with Pep. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I don't trust Pep at all. But I guess we can only go on what he's saying. And for me, that doesn't look like Haaland's going to be fit to face Palace. Even if he is fit, he could be coming off after 60 minutes, which is more than enough for him to do damage. But he's only saying hopefully he can travel to Saudi. So for me, that is sell Haaland. To be honest, for me, that is a sell Haaland. That is enough for me personally. Being on a wild card, blanking in game week 18, I think Haaland's got to go. But that's massive news. Like, thank you, Pep, if you're not lying. So that is massive news. Yeah, I think that's it so far. But let's see if there's any more that's come up. But that is 2 big press conferences. See if any more has come up. Just refresh this page. Go follow me on X as well if you're not already following. I'm sure a lot of you are anyway. Also on TikTok. I'm trying to up my TikTok game. I have a long commute to work, so I'm trying to make a few TikToks and trying to have a bit of fun with that. We'll see if there's any more that have come out. No, that's it so far. So the Chelsea news. So Robert Sanchez, Cucurella, Reece James are all ruled out. However, Gusto and Nkunku have returned to full team training. Massive, massive news. and Guardiola does not expect Erling Haaland to be fit to face Crystal Palace on Saturday. Hopefully, he can travel to Saudi. I don't think he'll be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture. It's not a fracture, just stress. So that is massive, massive news about Erling Haaland. We'll go through a few questions. So, Luca, Everton won't concede more than 2 or 3 against us, but Sheffield United have potential to concede 5+. Got Captain Watkins. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, to be honest. And for that reason, I don't know if that's a good enough. I know. Listen, so I totally agree with you. Do you think that's a good enough reason to go Watkins over Solanke this game week rather than wait a game week to go to Watkins? I don't know if that makes sense, but so I'm going to do Haaland to Solanke or Watkins, but do I just go to Watkins? Because I know I definitely want Watkins, yeah? Like 100% I want Watkins for game week 18. But do I go for Watkins now or go for Solanke now, who has Luton at home, and then go Watkins for Mubama in game week 18? So really it's kind of Solanke with Luton at home against Watkins with Brentford away, and have the opportunity to have an extra week information where I might need to do another transfer rather than do the Solanke move / Watkins move in. Plowboy, which town are you in? So I'm in the Gold Coast. I was in Melbourne for 2.5 years. Before that, I was in Mildura, which is like a regional town. I don't know if you know these areas or not, but I'm assuming you live here as well. But it's like a regional town in like Victoria, which is Melbourne State, but bloody boiling and dusty and like red. It won't say outback, but it's got a shop and stuff. It's actually a pretty good, I'd say, outback town, even though it's not really outback. But I had to go do some like regional farm work to extend my visa over here. So they make us do farm work, which was fun. Got to drive some tractors and stuff like that. But now on the Gold Coast. But yeah, so it's hotter than Melbourne. Melbourne's a bit like England, just probably 5 degrees hotter. So in the winter, 5 degrees hotter. In the summer, it's probably a bit hotter than that, but 5 to 8 degrees hotter. But it's the same as England, like 4 seasons in a day. 1 minute you got t-shirt and shorts on, next minute it's raining. So I was kind of got a bit used to that because that's what I'm used to, being at home. But yeah, it's bloody boiling up here, and it's not even proper summer yet. Like it's going to be hotter in January, February, but it's just so humid. Even today, just like sweating. But yeah, that's enough of my sweat anyway. Well, let me know where you're from. Early morning deadlines frustrate you and Oz. Yeah, to be honest, especially this one. So this one is going to be. Let me get it up. Like some of them are not too bad. Like the Saturday early kickoffs or even Saturday 3 p.m. is not too bad. But ones that are night kickoffs, the deadlines. 1 minute. Why am I going on? Let me just get it up. I want to get it right. But ones on night games are ridiculous. So 4:30 a.m. the deadline. So if there's any like last minute Haaland news, that's me done. To be honest, which is not ideal, but most of the time it's not too bad. The Saturday 12:30 UK time kickoffs, the Saturday 3 p.m. UK time kickoffs are fine because they're like, I think they're about 9:30 where I am time, and then maybe like 12 where I am time. So it's a Saturday night, so I'm going to be awake anyway. But it's just these Friday night ones, or are just a bit of a pain. And especially, I don't know if you played the World Cup fantasy. That was obviously mostly nighttime sort of games. Even though, yeah, where was it again? The World Cup? He was in Qatar, yeah. So it's actually not too far from here, but just the deadlines were horrific. But it does frustrate me a little bit. Would you get Nkunku in the near future? Definitely. I'd probably just wait and see a couple game weeks, potentially even on the wild card I've got in 1920. But for me, I just need to see a bit more. He hasn't played all season, and we don't know what it's going to be like. We know Timo Werner came over here from Germany with a big reputation and didn't deliver. We know Haaland came over here with a big reputation from Germany and delivered. So for me, there's like many examples. I think he's an absolute baller. So I can see him doing well, especially under Poch as well. I think Poch will get the best out of him. And in that front line, I think Chelsea needs someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. So I can see him getting in my team in the near future. I just need to see what he's like, to be honest. But I'm sure if he gets a goal or gets an assist, I'm sure loads of people are going to be jumping on him. I'm still not over Pep's comments about Cancelo a couple seasons ago. I'm still not over Pep's comments about Cancelo a couple seasons ago. He was playing with FPL managers. Yeah, God, that's what I mean. I don't trust Pep. Like, I don't him and Howe. I just don't trust. De Zerbi, maybe a little bit, but Pep and Howe, I just don't trust at all. Howe's a bit like Howe doesn't have the options. I know it's mainly because of the injuries now, but Howe doesn't have the options to play these mind games where Pep has the squad to play them. So Pep could literally, maybe not now, but back in the day when they had like Mahrez, Sterling, De Bruyne, Silva, both Silvers. Who else did they have? Even like Leroy Sané days. They had so many options like Grealish that Pep could play the mind games. And you can be like, yeah, fair enough. Like, they have so many options. But I think Eddie Howe would be even worse if he had the squad or they weren't injured. Yeah, no, yeah, I think the same, I think I'm probably going to do that now before I go to bed, because obviously the deadline's at 4:30 a.m. So it's not ideal. But I'm probably going to do Haaland to Solanke, and that'll be my transfer for the game week. And just hope Gordon's fit. I could do, again, I don't want to be taking minuses, but I could do Haaland to Solanke, Mubama to Watkins, and bench Gordon. That is a possibility, just to make sure I do have 8 attackers out. However, I've got Kabora on the bench, which is okay, not great, but he's probably going to play, so that might be enough for me. Basically 4 extra points, because I'm not going to be taking a -4, and Kabore's points. I'm hoping that can match Watkins, but yeah. Playboy, know them all. Gunda guy for me. Being hot, but you'd be more humid. Come drive tractors for us. Well, mate, let me search this up. Gund. I thought you were saying Gunda one for a minute, but Gunda guy. New South Wales. Why's my maps not working? 1 minute, let me put it in maps properly. So is that what you do? You got a farm? Yeah, I was actually doing an olive harvest in, I don't know if you know Cobram Estate olive oil. It's like the biggest brand olive oil, and you're near Canberra. I'll probably pass through you. I drove from Melbourne to Sydney, and then drove up to the Gold Coast. I stopped off in Wodonga, Albury Wodonga, and then went to Canberra. Okay, cool. Wagga Wagga. Wagga Wagga. I always say that name wrong. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's so humid here. Um, but yeah, no, what I was saying is, yeah, worked with olive oil and driving um these XL Colossus harvesters. They were so honestly, they were massive. Like honestly, and it went like through the trees, and then the olives got knocked off, went in the harvester, went up the chute, and then went um over the trees into a tractor with a bin attached. So yeah, it was completely different to anything I've done, but it was good fun, to be honest, and it was going at like 0.2 k's an hour, so I wasn't stressed out. 12-hour shifts sometimes. Well, it was mainly like just 12 to 12, but it was actually alright. I just chilled, to be honest, and yeah, a few of the other jobs. What did I do after that? I did just a few like packing sheds, which was alright. Um, what else did I do? That was really it for driving, though. I did um like almond poling, which was knocking the dead almonds off the tree. That was a bit boring. Um, and then the last one was a winery, so that was actually really fun. But it was just so hot because like wine season up there where I was in January, so it was January, February, March, outside in these heavy clothes with a helmet. Um, Sometimes even we had to wear masks and stuff like that, which was long and hot. And you had these like white tanks which were just reflecting the heat on you, and you had this sticky grape juice. It was horrific, but it was actually quite fun. And you got to socialize quite a lot, chatting to people. And my in that one, my role was the filtration of the wine. So um, so yeah, my job was pretty chill. I just press buttons on the machine. Luca, nice one, mate. Cheers for locking in for your questions. Yeah, hopefully no Watkins Hall. But yeah, good luck for the game week. Um, so we've got a question here. So struggling to find out which midfielder from Liverpool is the best to replace Salah during AFCON. Soboslai. No, I think best to replace Salah is a tricky one because it could only be 2 to 3 game weeks. So you don't want to get someone that's going to be a nightmare to take out. So I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would replace Salah with a Liverpool player. To be honest, I'm actually looking for De Bruyne. Um, to be honest, um, I'm looking at De Bruyne. I know he's not fit yet, but for that money, I think De Bruyne can be a good option as like a Salah replacement. So I wouldn't go specifically for Liverpool asset. I think any of them are good though. Jota, I don't think Jota's going to be fit, but he could be fit. Let me check. But Gakpo, Darwin, I think Darwin's probably the best possible, but obviously he's not a midfielder. Maybe someone like Soboslai, I don't like. Let me just check about Jota because I feel like I've heard Jota's out for a while. I'll just check. But for me, I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to go for someone directly from Liverpool. I think maybe someone like De Bruyne when he is fit. But Jota is out, unknown return date. So Jota is probably out of the question. It's probably not worth that risk. Maybe Diaz, but I'd probably just go for Darwin if you can. I know it's not a straight replacement, but I think Darwin could be a good cover. Showing that your import, there's a song about on the road to. Oh, okay, on the road to. Good the guy, kids are in Canberra. Got them on my shelf. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I made that. I made that olive oil in 2000 and what was it, 2020 harvest. I'll try and get some photos one day. I've got them somewhere. We run country from Longreach to Gundai, so when the visa requires. Okay, nice. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I've done all my farm work now. So my girlfriend's actually like half Aussie, so we can always do. But she's English, but her dad's Aussie, so we can always do like a partner visa. But we just wanted to get the experience of kind of regional, to be honest, and yeah, just doing the visa just in case. But I'm still in my last year of that because they gave us extra years during COVID and stuff like that. So but yeah, no, that's cool. Appreciate that. Paint a good picture. Glenn. So yeah, definitely KDB when it's fit. Yeah, I'm hoping he can be fit just in time playing my wild card in game week 20. If I can get KDB in on the wild card, that would be incredible. But yeah, I'm not holding my breath. Considering how it happened in terms of his injury this season. He was injured from the World Cup. Was it from the World Cup? No. I think he was injured from the from the Champions League, or he was injured from from Belgium in the summer or something, and they brought him back way too early. And for me, I just don't think they're going to want to take that risk again. So I don't think they will be rushing him back. Okay, we've got another few press conferences here. So Iriola should have the same squad available to him that defeated Man United last weekend. The Bournemouth manager reported no new concerns, but also added that none of his injured players or ill players were expected back. Okay, cool. Good news for people that are looking to bring in Solanke. He's definitely in the squad and probably will start. Yeah, that's it so far. But just to recap, Chelsea, Robert Sanchez, Cucurella, Reece James are all ruled out for game week 17. However, Milo Gusto and Christopher Nkunku have both returned to full training. Big news for the last two, Gusto and Nkunku. I think both can be really good options coming up. And the big news, I'd say, is Guardiola does not expect Erling Haaland to be fit to face Crystal Palace on Saturday. Hopefully he can travel to Saudi, but I don't think he will be ready to play this weekend. It's not a fracture, just stress. Interesting one. That is an interesting one. So for me, personally, I'll get my team back up in a minute. But for me now, with that news, that is Haaland out. I think that's enough to get rid of Haaland for me. And I'm probably gonna do Haaland to Solanke, and then in game week 18 do Mubama to Watkins. Hi SJ. Yeah, let me know your questions. Any questions for game week 17? And I'll try and answer them, and let me know your captains and transfers. Cool, we'll get out my team again. Keep leaving your comments in. I'm going to stay on for quite a while. Hopefully we get all the news in, all the team news, all the press conferences. Okay, cool. We'll get my transfers up. Okay, so 1.3 in the bank. Again, it's a tricky one. I've mentioned it so many times, but I'm going to mention it again just in case you've just come in. But I've still got my wild card. Going to be playing it in 19, hopefully game week 20, and kind of maybe taking out a few AFCON Asia Cup players like Son and Salah, and bringing in some of their replacements nice and early. Hopefully De Bruyne. So this week, I can afford to get rid of Erling Haaland because I am on the wild card and I can just bring him back in game week 19 or 20. So Pep has come out, I don't know if you've just seen it, to say that he's probably not going to be ready for the Crystal Palace game. He's hopefully going to be ready for the Saudi, not for the Saudi, for the it is in Saudi, for the Club World Cup in Saudi. So yeah, we're going to see. For me, I think that means he's not going to play. So it's going to be Haaland for Solanke, I'd say. Again, I could go for someone like Watkins. I could go for Raul Jimenez. But for me, I think Solanke with them fixtures is just too good to not pass by. So Luton at home, Forest away, Fulham at home, and then obviously our wild card in game week 20. So I think it's too good not to pass by. So that will probably be my transfer, Haaland to Solanke, and then in game week 18, I can go Mubama to Watkins. So there is an argument that I could potentially do Haaland to Watkins this game week, and that does leave me a bit of flexibility for the next game week, as I know I'll want Haaland. So I know I want Watkins in game week 18. So it kind of, I guess, makes that transfer earlier for me. But at this current moment, I think Haaland has to go. We'll get a few more questions in. So would you start Gabriel or Lascelles? I'd definitely start Gabriel. I think I can see why you've asked that question, but I think for me, I think Gabriel plays for a better defensive team. Just Newcastle are very good defensively. Arsenal had a dead rubber game midweek. PSV, they're already qualified, already top of the group. I don't even think Gabriel played. I'll just double check, but I don't think Gabriel played. But let me just get that up before I give misinformation. Let's go back to, when was it? So Arsenal's lineup. So okay, Gabriel played, but it was a dead rubber game. Newcastle put everything on the line in that game. Lascelles played. Lascelles been playing quite a lot, and he is getting on. I'm pretty sure he's getting on a little bit. No offense to anyone that's the same age as Lascelles, but let me just get his. Anyway, even if he's not getting on a little bit, he's been playing so many games, so has Newcastle. So for me, it's either Newcastle are going to be dejected from that game or going to use it to their advantage. But for me, I think Fulham are a better team on form than Brighton, and Brighton also played on Thursday in a crucial game in the Europa League where they needed to get a result, so which they did. But for me, they put everything on the line in that game, so that's why I do think you should play Gabriel instead of Lascelles. So Haaland, Gordon to Solanke, Son. Sounds like a good move to me, to be honest. I mean, is that for a -4? Let me know. I love Haaland to Solanke because that's what I'm going to be doing. Gordon to Son, I actually really like too. I really like too, but just be mindful that Son is off to the Asia Cup pretty soon, in 3 to 4 game weeks, around game week 20, 21. So I would be mindful that he's going to be a transfer out, and it's only going to be for 3-4 game weeks, but he is worth it. He can deliver in them game weeks. So yeah, I think that's a good move. SJ, will Areola start? I think he will. He was on the bench in the Europa League. I think Fabianski has been playing most Europa League games most Europa League games this season, so I don't think that's anything to go by. But I think Areola will start, and I think he is their first choice goalkeeper. And even if he doesn't, your bench keeper will come on. But obviously, if you don't have a bench keeper, then potentially, I think Areola is going to start. To be honest. Hello, mate. Let me know your questions below, and I'll answer them. Newcastle defense running low on fuel. Absolutely, the whole team is. To be honest, they've played a lot of games with a small squad because of injuries, suspensions. Their back line, especially like Dan Burn's been out, Botman's been out. It's massive. Two players out of that back line that have been so well. Got Nick Pope's out, which is huge for them in terms of not only defensively but going forward, playing out from the back. He is massive for them. Dubravka can't do that, which is why they've replaced him with Nick Pope anyway. Dubravka was a really good goalkeeper for Newcastle, but they wanted someone that could play out from the back, and I think Pope does give them a bit more. So it is massive for them defensively, and it's massive for them as a team, I think. So I think they are running out of fuel, but they're at home this game week, so I do fancy them to try and bounce back and get a result. But Fulham are on absolute fire at the moment. They've won 2 games 5-0 in a row, so that's nothing to be sniffed at. So although Newcastle are a good team, they are running low and they are playing at informed Fulham. Worth taking a -4 hit for Gehi to Porro. I don't really like doing that for defenders, especially defenders that are going to play. So if you think about it like this, yeah, so let's say Gehi, how can we look at it? Gehi has a tough fixture against City away. So for me, that is almost a guaranteed they're going to concede, yeah? So let's say he concedes a few. Let's say he gets 1-0. Let's say 0 to 1 point. Yeah, let's say it's been nice. He's going to get 1 point. Yeah, or let's say worst case, he's going to get 0 points. Porro has got to get a goal has got to get a goal, assist. He's got to get an assist to match that. So an assist and 2 playing is 5 points. Yeah, to match that -4 hit. He's got to get a goal to beat that by 1 point or 2 points and potential bonus. And then he's got to get a clean sheet to just beat that. So he's got to return. He has to return. I think he will return, and I think you're going to want Porro long term. So I think go for it if it's a transfer you want to make and you don't think you'll have that spare transfer in the next week or so. I think it is a good time to make that transfer, so I would do it. Yeah, for a -4, I'd probably do it, to be honest. I think Son looks good for the next few game weeks. I think Watkins is the best captain option in Game Week 18, but I think Son is still a good option. And Haaland looks like he's going to be out now. And Gordon, I think it's a tough one with Gordon because I think he would be rested if they did have someone else there. But who are they going to play? They're going to have to play. They're going to have to play Isak there basically, and play Wilson up front, or they can play Joel Linton there, who's going to be knackered himself. So it's not like you're doing anything any better. You're just making someone else play there that is also tired. So for me, I'll probably do that -4 just for the ease of mind, and just for and just make sure you want them players anyway. You want them long term. I would do it, to be honest. It's not worth the hassle of Gordon. I think Gordon's a better option than Son. I mean, I think Son's a better option than Gordon. So for me, I would do it. We'll get up a few more of the press conferences. So we've got Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace. We'll get that up now. So, yeah, so we obviously know with Palace that Mitchell was out, was injured, and he has been past fit. However, Edward Johnson and Lerma have joined the injury list. Dean Henderson has trained this week and may be obliged to play despite not being 100% fit. So obviously Johnson is going to be out. So he's probably got no choice but to play, even though he's not 100% fit. But yeah, I don't think Palace are massive FPL options or have a team of massive FPL options, to be honest. But it is maybe another positive for taking out Haaland, as Mitchell is going to be past fit to play, and they're going to have a decent goalkeeper in Dean Henderson playing, who maybe could keep out Haaland if he does end up playing. Arteta has said Martinelli has recovered from illness and is in contention for game week 17. Mohamed El Neni has joined Timber, Tomiyasu, Vieira, Partey on the injury list, and Smith Rowe returned to the squad in midweek. So not much to note there. Martinelli, I think, is actually a good option for the next few game weeks. I know I posted this on Twitter a few days ago and people laughed at me, but I think Martinelli could be a good option, especially when Salah and Son go off to Asia Cup and off to AFCON. I think Martinelli and double up on Arsenal midfield could be an option. Eric Ten Hag has ruled out Harry Maguire, Anthony Martial for a trip to Anfield. Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw should be available. Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro, Mount, and Eriksen remain out. So some massive misses, to be honest, especially at the defence. But Luke Shaw being back should be a little bit of a boost, and Rashford. But I don't think they're much help at the moment. And yeah, I'm not too sure who they're going to play centre back. Maybe Luke Shaw centre back, and yeah, someone else left back. But yeah, it's not looking good for Man United, and this just cements captain in Salah for me. Yeah, I think that's it for the press conferences so far. We'll quickly get up my team one last time and answer a few more questions. We'll get the questions in first. So, is there a very slight chance that Haaland could play? Like, of course, like Pep could be lying. I'll bring up what he said in a minute, but he could be lying. He could be mind games. He could just be fit. There is always a slight chance, but for me, with him blanking in game week 18, and I'm on my wild card in game week 19 or 20, there's no need for me to have a player that doesn't play when I can bring in Solanke with Luton at home. So for me, even if he does play, I'm going to get 2 fixtures over 1 anyway. SJ, so should I start Archer or Kufal? That is a tough one. I'd always go for the attacker, to be honest. And West Ham's defence has been shocking recently. So for me, I'd always go for the attacker. I know they've got Chelsea away, but I think Chelsea can concede goals. Sheffield United are on the back of their, I think it might be their first win or their first in a while. So for me, I'd probably go for the attacker. And Wolves are a decent side, so I fancy Wolves to score against West Ham. So yeah, I'd go for Archer. SJ McTominay masterclass incoming. Oh, imagine. No, but I was talking about this earlier. Like, a lot of people are giving Liverpool the 5-0, 6-0 win already. I just can't. I know it happened last season, but I just can't see it happening. I don't think football works like that. When you're least expecting it, a team's going to pull out a result. Some of it's going to happen: a red card, a dodgy free kick, a dodgy penalty, a VAR decision. Something could happen. Like, it's not a foregone guarantee that Liverpool are going to thrash Man United 6-0 in this game, or 7-0 in this game. For example, Spurs were top of the league, flying, haven't lost a game. We're playing at home to Chelsea, who hadn't scored a goal in a month plus, who were awful. New manager, team weren't scoring goals, defense was conceding goals, and all of a sudden they get a player sent off. They get 2 players sent off. They get 2 massive key injuries in this game, and Chelsea win 4-1. So anything can happen. And I just think football works in mysterious ways where, yes, they have a lot of injuries. Yes, Bruno is suspended, but could that benefit them? Could that be the spark they need to fight against what they're going for at the moment? Could it mean they're playing a bit more defensive minded and going there to absolutely stink out the joint and grind a 1-0, 0-0 against Liverpool? Who knows? But for me, I think Liverpool are going to win comfortably, but I just can't. I don't see it being a 4-5, 6-0, maybe a 2-3-0, which is still pretty bad, to be fair. Please make sure you do like and subscribe this video. It really does help me out. Please do smash the like button on this video. Take 1 second. It really does help me out. We'll quickly go on to my team, and then we'll go from there. So this is what the team will look like in the kind of the transfer part of it. Yeah, cool. So for example, Haaland is going to be going out just because of the news we have heard, that Pep said hopefully he can be fit for the Club World Cup. So for me, that is not what I want to hear. I want to hear hopefully he can be fit for Crystal Palace, which is I haven't heard. So for me, Haaland is gone for Solanke, and then in game week 18, I'll be bringing in Watkins for Mubama. I could potentially do that this week for a -4. I just don't know if it's worth it. It probably is worth it, but I just don't know if it is worth it yet. Considering Gordon could still play, and then I think the rest of the midfielders will play. So if there is any more news on Gordon, then potentially I could do Mubama to Watkins and then bench Gordon. But for now, I'm just going to be doing Haaland to Solanke while we wait for the rest of the news. Make sure you leave your last few comments as well, as I will be potentially going soonish. Okay, we'll get up the press conferences one more time as well. Let me know what you think of these transfers. So Haaland to Solanke, and then Mubama to Watkins in game week 18. This is what my team is like. Make sure you also join my mini league. It's in the description below. There should be an auto link there. If not, there's a code there. Yeah, join, and you can see where we are against each other. So we just had a question come in. So should I buy Souček or McTominay? Neither. Are there no other options? I'll just have a quick look, but surely there's another option. What sort of price range are you looking at for them? So McTominay, to be fair, he is flying this season, but I just don't trust Man United, and I don't really want any Man United players at this current moment. So McTominay, 4.9 million, 5 goals this season. So 4.9 million McTominay, and Souček is 4.9 million as well, and he's got 4 goals, 1 assist. So they've both done okay, but surely there's someone better out there. 4.9 million. So we'll go for total score. Yeah, that is incredible. Souček or McTominay. Is that what we've come to this season? Okay, cool. Price point 4.9 million. So having a quick look. So there's someone that I came across the other day that actually looks pretty good. Carney, no. Yeah, you are struggling, to be fair. Yeah, I think I'd probably go for Souček. Or Garnacho could be an option, but again, it's a minutes risk. The Celso was a good one, but I think the Celso has got a knock now, so he's not going to be playing. Let's go for total score. Yeah, you are struggling, to be honest, and I understand why you've said both of them. But I'm just trying to find someone better. Surely there's someone better. 4.9 million. Is that all you've got? Is 4.9 million? Can you go to someone like a Dingra for 5 million? Who I think is a better option. Can you go to? Yeah, it's a struggle. Out of them two, I'd probably go for Souček. I think they have the better fixtures. Are you selling Haaland from Omar? Yes, I'm selling Haaland. So he's now been red flagged. He's been red flagged, Erling Haaland. So 25% chance of playing. I'm on my wild card still. In game week 19 or 20, I'm going to play it. So for me, there's no need to keep Haaland when he blanks next game week. So for that reason, he will be gone. I'm probably going to do Haaland to Solanke in this game week. But yes, I am selling Haaland. Keep leaving your questions through, and we'll wait to see if there are any more. So best cheap defender, I think Palmer, Hwang, Gordon. But if you're looking for cheaper, someone like Decore, again, the fixtures are not great, but it depends what sort of price you are looking for. Decore 5.6 million, but the fixtures are not great for Everton. But yeah, I'd go for someone like Palmer if you don't already have him. I'm just checking if there's any more team news. Cool. We've got 15 likes. If you can, please do smash that like button. It would really, really help me out and help out the channel. And subscribe as well. That'll be yeah, really, really helpful. And hopefully we can keep racking up them subscribers. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, so over the moon with that. It's only been a year since I started, so yeah, really happy with that. And hopefully we can hit another 1,000 or 2,000 before the end of next year. Is Gusto a real option? Absolutely. I'll probably just wait a week though, just to see how it happens, if he plays, how he reacts to coming back from injury. But he is a very, very good option, and he is, I think, as good as Reece James recently, to be honest. I think Reece James a few years ago, maybe, but at this current stage, I'd say Gusto is a real option. I'd just probably wait a game week to see how he reacts to coming back from injury, to see if Poch is going to play him. Is Palmer the best 5.5 million below? I'd say so. On penalties, good fixtures for Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea are not great, but I think he is the best out there. They're not going to find maybe Hwang, I'd say, but I think Palmer's fixtures are a little bit better, so I'd probably go for him. I'll just have a quick check to see if there are any more team news, any more press conferences. Okay, we've got some Liverpool and Aston Villa and Brighton press conferences, so I'll just get them up now. We can read them out. Cool, we'll just get up these press conferences that have just come in. So we've got Brighton's here. No listed press conferences due to last night's match. De Zerbi on Wednesday mentioned Matoma as someone who needed careful minute management. He also revealed Welbeck could return to the bench this weekend. So if you do own Welbeck, I'll probably just keep him now, and Matoma will probably be rested this weekend. But he plays Arsenal away anyway, so it's not a massive deal. Aston Villa. So no listed press conferences due to last night's fixture. Emery did say after the match that he was hopeful Leon Bailey and Yuri Tielemans would be fit for game week 17. Luca Dean and Douglas Luiz are suspended. So with Leon Bailey maybe having a potential injury issue or a fitness issue, or potentially not be fit for game week 17, I think this does leave Matty Cash in a good opportunity to start, especially with Luca Dean being suspended. I think it does give Cash a little bit of an extra chance to start, so I probably would start him if I did own him. Jurgen Klopp didn't bring us much fresh team news in Friday's pre-match presser, but earlier this week he had ruled out Alexis McAllister out of the visit of Manchester United, Andrew Robertson, Stefan Bajcetic, Thiago Alcantara, Diogo Jota are thought to remain out, while Joe Matip went under the knife this week. So I think Konate could be a good option, but I do think Joe Gomez will be playing centre-back this week. Tsimikas, Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold, I think, will be the starting back four. But that's good news in terms of any other injuries. Salah's going to be fit. So I think that's it so far for press conferences. We'll do one more refresh and then answer a few last minute questions. Just wait while this refreshes. Yeah, cool. So that's it for the press conferences so far. Yeah, so I think we've mentioned this one, but I think Palmer is probably the best midfielder for that price point on penalties, good fixtures. It's just he plays for Chelsea is the only downside. Where are you? So I'm in Australia at the moment, but I was born in the UK in London, but I've been in Australia for 4 years. Family from Cyprus though, which is why I'm tanned. Let me know where you're from in the comments. Question there from ML. I got 2 free transfers and already got Watkins up top. Should I go Haaland to Solanke and cash to Porro Trent? Yes, I think that's a really good move. I like Solanke. I'm going to be doing Haaland to Solanke. Trent could be a nice differential. I just don't know if their fixtures are the best. Porro has probably got the best short-term fixtures, but Trent is Trent, and I think Liverpool's defense is better than Spurs' defense. It's just, is it going to mess you up to bring back Haaland when you're going to want to bring back Haaland in game week 19? Potentially, you can wait to game week 20, but is it going to mess up that? Can you get Haaland back by going Porro instead of Trent? Let me know. Hope Haaland blanks for everyone who keeps him. Yeah, I agree with you, Louis. I agree with you, but it is harsh. I think it's, to be honest, I don't see the point in keeping him when he does blank in game week 18. Yes, it is a really good fixture, but Pep said, again, Pep could be lying, but from what Pep said, I don't think he's going to play. He said he's going to be hopeful. He's going to play for the Club World Cup, and it's doubtful he's going to be playing against Palace. So for me, that's enough to say that I don't think he's going to be playing. He hasn't been back to training yet, and it's Friday, and he plays tomorrow. So for me, I'd probably take that as he's not going to play. Good morning from Minneapolis, USA. Hello, Christopher. Good evening from Australia. Yeah, that's cool. You're from Minneapolis. What's it like with the deadlines over there? I bet your deadlines are not too bad, apart from the early morning Saturday games, which I'm sure will be like early morning or even the night before deadline. Let me know. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to answer your question. Son or Salah for captain? I think Salah is the best captain. This game week, I think Man United have shown they can concede a lot of goals. Forest have shown in the past, maybe not recently, but in the past, that they are solid at home. I think Son will probably go out to the left, which I don't think makes him a worse FPL option, but I think makes him maybe a little bit less of a goal threat. So for me, I would go for Mohamed Salah as captain. Next question. So Trippier 6.9 now. Yeah, that's incredible. I remember start of the season, everyone going, "Oh, he's way too expensive to get in. He's way too expensive." But it just goes to show a few clean sheets, a few assists, and everyone wants to get him in. But 6.9 million is ridiculous, considering. But he is a joke. He's so consistent. But obviously he does miss this game week as he is suspended. It's harsh, but we all want to win FPL. Yeah, true. Can only be one winner though. But yeah, join my mini league. Everyone that's watching, it's in the description below. You should just be able to click a link and it auto joins you, or there's a code there you can put in as well. If you are new to the channel, everyone that was watching, please make sure you do subscribe and smash a like on this video. I do release 2 to 3 videos every week and live stream on the deadline pretty much every week. Some weeks I don't get away with it, as it's normally Saturday night here in Australia, so I have to do date night duties, but most of the time I do deadline stream as well. Haaland will play. I don't think Haaland will play. I'm going to be taking him out on my team. I'm going to be doing Haaland to Solanke. So I don't know. Take of that what you will. And I think what Pep said is he's hopeful for the Club World Cup. But for me, I'm taking him out as he blanks in game week 18 as well. So I can't afford to have a 14 million striker that's going to be blanking 2 games in a row. Good morning. Hi, Louis from Hayward, California. It's by San Jose, San Francisco area. It's 6:02 a.m. Wow, incredible. It's 12:05 in Australia on Saturday now. So we're literally on different days, which is incredible. It was a good day, so you got a good one coming, hopefully. But yeah, let me know where you're from in the comments. Be pretty cool to see. I get up at 2 a.m. for NRL and BBL. So yes, good evening to you. Nice, fair enough. That's a big commitment. Same though, really. So, I'm a Tottenham fan. So when we're playing the big games, so Arsenal, Chelsea, or sometimes I have to stay awake till 2:30 a.m. to watch the game. So it's not the greatest, and especially having to watch it at home because it's at that time, or having to watch it by myself is not the best. I'd rather be watching it with other fans. But I guess it is what it is. I'm actually from the UK, so I've only been here about 4 years, and it has been quite tough. Just kind of staying connected to football, and it's given me a new appreciation for fans that are not in the UK and support a Premier League team. Whereas I'm going to be honest, whereas before I came to Australia, I kind of didn't understand how you could be so passionate about a team that are so many miles away. But now that I have lived away from the country that the Premier League is in the UK, I completely understand it, and I understand it how you can still get that feeling from watching the games, and it's just different. It's just you're watching the games at the kind of midnight or 2 a.m. or 6 a.m. You're consuming content around the game. You're talking about the game on social media, so you're still getting that interaction. But yeah, complete respect to everyone that is not in the UK and has to either get up or stay up, or even just midway through the work day have to watch. Not have to, I guess, but watches Premier League football. Yeah, respect to everyone that does that. Cash, Simicast, Pedro Porro, Cabore, free to start. I think I'd go Simicast, Pedro Porro, Cash. I think Cash actually has a chance of starting, especially with Luca Dean suspended, with Leon Bailey just coming back to fitness. I think Cash has a good chance of starting. Who do you support? So Abdullah. So I support Tottenham. I grew up about 2 minutes walk from the stadium, from White Hart Lane. So I'd kind of had no choice, and yeah, my family supported Tottenham, so I had no choice really. I wouldn't choose it upon anyone, but yeah, I had no choice. And yeah, I used to go when I was in the UK. I used to go to games away at home in Europe. Obviously, I can't do that over here in Australia, but sometimes I go meet up with the Australian supporters groups and watch games. But yeah, let me know who you support. I'm fourth in your league. I am new though. Louis Bonilla overall. Wow, over 1,000 points, and took my first -4. So you're now on 1,000. Wow, yeah, well done. Fourth in the league. That's pretty good. There's quite a few people in there. So what's your overall rank? You must be pretty high. I just smashed the like button. Appreciate that. I just smashed like Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Those celebrating. And yeah, hopefully it's a good 2024. And the channel keeps growing. We all keep climbing the ranks. We all keep winning our mini leagues. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that has commented tonight. I'm going to head off to bed as it's 10 past midnight here. Going to make my transfers quickly, which will probably be Haaland to Solanke, and that's it. But yeah, make sure you do subscribe if you are new to the channel. Smash a like if you haven't already smashed it, like Louis has, and I'll catch you in the next video, which should be either Saturday or Sunday, talking about game week 18. And yeah, have a good one, and I'll play my outro video, which a lot of people have said they really like. So yeah, let me know what you think, and leave a comment as well once the live stream has ended, as that does help it out as well. And yeah, good luck for the game week. I appreciate all the support and all the messages and comments and questions and the likes. And yeah, I really do hope you all have a good game week, and yeah, a good weekend. And yeah, catch you soon.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.